everybody. Welcome to Outer Spaces Live. Hi, Terry.
Hey, Orly, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to we have so much to talk about and so much to show on today's episode. I can't wait. I'm going to give all of you guys a couple minutes to join. I know everyone's getting comfy, getting situated. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or maybe a cocktail, depending on where you are or who you are, and get comfy because we've got such great stuff to share with you today. I'm going to give you a super quick little explanation. Outer Spaces Live is a series we've been doing, and we're really upping our game. So this is going to be our best yet. We're so excited to share all this amazing stuff with you. And while we're getting everyone kind of joining us and getting situated, I think we might as well introduce ourselves. Terry Lynn, will you go first, please, sir?
Of course. For those of you that don't know, my name's Terry Lynn. I am the co-founder and chief design officer of Outer, and my primary responsibility is to design great products that help you get outside. And we started with our Outer sofa, and we have quite a pipeline for next year. But in today's live stream, we'll be announcing the very next product, which is our all-weather cover.
This all-weather cover, I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait, and I can't wait to demo it. I've got a really funny, live demo on exactly what the amazing qualities of this cover are. My name is Orly. I'm your co-host. If you guys don't know me or have never met me, it is so nice to have you here. I'm basically a DIY expert. I work mainly within the fashion space. I do a lot of home decor as well. I have a YouTube channel called The DIY Designer, where I do tons of really fun fashion DIY, and really my thing is all about taking basic, simple, boring pieces and turning them into incredible statement pieces. This fabulous sweatshirt is a men's one that I just had some fun with this last week, and this actually goes live tomorrow, which will be super fun. And I also work on the national daytime talk show called Home and Family, which is on the Hallmark Channel. I do fashion and home decor DIY there as well. And I've had my Outer now for a few years, and I'm a loyal fan, and I absolutely love everyone within this company, including Terry, so very much. Now, a quick little, we want to talk about what this is, what Outer Spaces Live, the series is. And I'd love, Terry, if you can kind of lead it off, because you have such a beautiful way of explaining our purpose here.
Yeah, Outer Spaces Live is just our way of just exploring how we can better connect with the community. And Outer Spaces Live is exactly what we're doing, which is we are coming to you live from our outdoor spaces to talk about all things outdoor lifestyle. And, I think it's really relevant, especially now more than ever, because people realize how valuable their private spaces are. And during these live streams, and we're planning on hosting one every month, we're here to help you figure out new tips and tricks and how to reclaim your outdoor space. And the other part is that if you don't know, we have a program called the Neighborhood Showroom where we take our customers and we turn them into hosts. And the idea is that these hosts allow prospective customers to come and check out our furniture, see, touch, feel, talk to these customers, and see what they think of it. And a big piece of the impetus for that was this idea of spaces, places, and styles. We've designed this furniture to be able to fit in any design style, any space, and any environment. So this feels like just an extension of what we're doing with Neighborhood Showroom, where we are going to be able to show you different spaces, places, and styles. So you'll be able to hear a little bit more about my design style, what my space looks like, as well as Orly's and our guest star today, Dini.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I feel like the thing that I love so much about this series, Outer Spaces Live, is that it really gives us an opportunity each month to focus on something new and start to create content that's going to be really useful for you. So whether that's going to be DIYs or recipes or lifestyle experts, tips, whatever it is, it's our opportunity to really cultivate content that we think is going to be really impactful and helpful for you, and really start to create what feels like an actual show, which is so fun. And I'm just so excited. I'm just excited to be a part of it. And today, so as I said, right, we've got sort of a different theme for each one. And today's theme, which could not be better timing, is all about low maintenance living. Low maintenance, easy breezy. That's what this is about. And so we've got a couple things going on today that I'm excited about. Number one, I have a DIY that I'm going to do live, which is very nerve-wracking and very exciting. I'm going to do a live DIY on a no-sew machine washable pillow cover that you guys can do right now, and you can kind of very quickly transform your space in a super low maintenance way. Dini Klein from Prep and Rally is today's special guest. She is the queen of low maintenance, easy cooking. She's got meal plans. She's incredible. And she's got a delicious cocktail and an appetizer that she is going to demo for us live as well. And then we're going to do the reveal, the grand reveal of the all-weather cover, which I can't wait. And just want to keep you guys kind of up to date about a few other things. Number one, we are giving away a conversation set. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's this bad boy right here. Two of these, right? Two of these guys that you can have together. We're going to be giving one away, and that's going to be happening towards the end of the live stream. So make sure that you stay tuned. Also, Outer is doing its biggest ever sale for Black Friday. So in the email you'll get when this is over, there will be some information there, but just be prepared because it's a big kahuna. It's very exciting. Tori, are you ready to get started with our very first segment?
Yeah. I was going to say the low maintenance thing is so important. As we've been doing our pre-rehearsals, right at the end of yesterday's pre-rehearsal, everyone had to go and pick up their kids. And, for those of you out there that have kids, they know how important it is to have things low maintenance, have things easy. But how do you actually do it in a stylish way as well? So a lot of our series is about these things where it's easy, it's quick, it's double duty, that you can take and apply it to your life in your backyard.
Yeah. So I know you have a really great hack for how you're able to bring some of the more cozy, high quality elements outdoors like that and bring it indoors like that.
Yeah. So for me, as I mentioned, like a big piece for me is I always think about if I'm going to purchase something, make sure it's double duty. So, it's winter in the country. That means the weather's going to be more unsettled. So I don't leave my cushions outside. And what I do is I just buy baskets. I'll just shoot it right here. I'll just hold them up. So, baskets are awesome because they're super versatile. Here's one. This is a water hyacinth basket. Here's one that's seagrass. And, at the, when I'm going to hang out outside, I'll just bring these out. This one is filled with a roll of blankets. And then this one is my pillow. So, when you get baskets, it's super versatile. You can put whatever you want into it. But, I can just quickly, I'll set this up so you can see what I'm doing.
I love this so much because number one, the baskets look beautiful. So even if they were sitting next to your door outside, as you walk out, it looks almost like really cool decor that's just sitting there. But the function is that everything's in one place and gets brought outside and then can obviously be packed up and brought back inside. So smart.
Exactly. So it just makes it super easy because the last thing you want is to make multiple trips to have to get your place set up. So, like the same way that we designed the outer shell, we just want to make it super easy to get it set up and broken down. And I call it the bookends. The more we're able to minimize the bookends and enjoy the things that you love the most, the more likely you're going to actually get outside.
I love that. I think having a beautiful basket is such a great tip and something I don't have. So I think I'm definitely going to get that. Now it's time for the DIY. I want to show you guys this DIY because I think that it is such an incredibly useful, simple thing that you can do for indoor or outdoor furniture. This is it right here. This little bad boy. It's so cute. Any fabric you want. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So I'm going to unwrap it. I'm going to sort of deconstruct it, and then I will show you how to reconstruct it. Now, while I do this, I'm going to grab something to raise this up, just a scotch. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start by buying about 1 yard and a few inches of fabric. You need basically a large square. Now, I have a couple of photos I want to show you. Let's put the first two photos because this gives you an idea. That top photo is 1 yard and like 3 or 4 inches of fabric, right? 1 yard might be fine. It really is based off the size of your pillow. Now you can see the pillow is put into it so that the fabric looks like a diamond as opposed to perfectly parallel square on square. So that's how you want to make sure to do it. Make sure to do it on an angle. The next thing you're going to do is fold the corners of your fabric in. Fold them in a little bit. And again, this is going to be finagled based off the size of your pillow. So now let's take a look at the next photo that we have. Next two photos are basically the next step of this. If I unwrap this pillow, you can see this is where we're at. So the photo on the left is when one side has been folded in and the other is still just a triangle. The next photo is when both have been folded in. So what you can see right here is, right, that's what it looks like. The fabric is folded, and then you fold in your other side. Now, what you want to do when you're doing this, guys, is you want it to feel nice and taut. So pull on one end. I'm actually going to angle this down just a little bit more. Okay. You're going to pull this nice and tight. And now we've got this other side. We're going to do the same. This is totally optional, but one thing I really like doing is just taking a simple straight pin and pinning it, because you're not going to see it. It's going to get covered. But what it does is it really allows you to pull on the fabric more evenly without this opening. So there we go. Now we've got our little seam. Now all you need to do is gather up the sides. I'm going to gather this side. I'm going to kind of fold it over for right now so that I can grab the other side. And now all you do is tie a knot right here. And the cool thing is that this knot covers up that center seam that we had that we didn't want to see, right? You can already see it's covering it. Tie it once and tie it again. Now, these little tails that we've got right here, you can see they're going one direction, right? They have a direction that they want to go. You're going to want to stick with that. So take this piece, open it up so that it's not bulky, and slide it underneath. Now, one side is hidden, okay? Take the other side again, open it up, and slide it underneath. Now, the last thing you want to do is, again, my favorite word, finagling. You want to make sure that these little corners are nice and straight and perfectly crisp. You want to make sure the knot is fanned out and you're not seeing the wrong side of the fabric. And that is it. The great thing about this, you guys, is that it's no sew, but because there's no fabric glue or anything like that, all I have to do is unwrap this and I can throw it in the washing machine so that I can always keep them clean. This isn't something that's like one and done. I can keep them stored very easily every season, every holiday. So it's a really, really fun DIY, super fun way to upgrade your outdoor space, and it's so low maintenance.
I love that idea, Orly. And, you know, I think one thing that I was going to call out, and I think everyone can agree, but I think we all wish we had more space, more storage. Like, I have way too much stuff that I don't know where to put it. So your idea is awesome where, you know, instead of having a lot of pillows, you just have this really flat fabric. And if you actually saw, like, if I walked inside, you saw all the pillows I have that I use to transition from spring to summer, summer to fall, fall to winter. It's too many. So, like, that idea is a great way to do it. And then I think another piece, which is nice, is, you know, part of the, like, I think people get tired of the look. Like, it might look good for a week or two or a month, but after a month, you're like, okay, I want to change it up. And then not only that, but, you know, spring, if you think about the color palette for spring, that really is kind of like the sun-kissed, like, pastel colors. And then as it gets hotter throughout the country, that's where, like, those really vibrant colors comes out. So spring doesn't look really good for summer. And then when you kind of transition into fall, which is kind of how I have mine, you start getting more into the earth tones, right? So, like, it's not really vibrant. And then come holiday, it's really like those jewel tones. So, you know, your idea of doing something like that allows you to easily and cost effectively switch up your space. So love that.
Absolutely. You can have one little storage bin with just 1 yard swaths of fabric and pull them out and swap them literally within just a few seconds for a party, for anything you want. So it's really great. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, which was some plants. Now, Shirley Bobshaw is one of my favorite people in the whole world, and she's actually going to be part of a live stream coming up soon. If you guys don't know Shirley, I highly recommend looking her up. You can find her at Shirley Bobshaw, or she even has a YouTube channel, Eden Makers. She's a gardening expert. And I asked her, what are some really delicious, fragrant plants that are good during the colder winter months that you could have in your outdoor space to create almost like a candle-like aroma? You know, that's one of the beautiful things about the holidays is we have those yummy smells in our house. And so she was saying that gardenia and jasmine are two really great plants that you can do. You know, I've got this tray right here that sits on top of my fire pit when I'm not using it. And it's an opportunity to put decor or put some plants. And I think something like that, a really delicious smelling greenery that functions not only as giving beauty, but giving you a scent, is going to do a lot more in creating a very low maintenance, but like luxurious feeling when you're outside.
Yeah, what's nice about what you're talking about is when you design, you know, you're designing visually, but you're also, and then want to say visual, you're thinking, it really is about designing for all of the senses. So like
Yeah.
thinking about scent is so important. Color, scent, taste, touch, all of it. So that's where like Dini is it's going to be exciting hearing what she's going to make for us today.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, I want to see if we have any questions for this particular segment that we've done. So do we have any questions? All right. This is from Mary D. Goggin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. What's the best way to decorate a patio for Christmas? Ooh. Harry, do you have any ideas you want to jump in on?
Yeah. I think first and foremost, like when you think about Christmas, like it depends on what your taste is, but there is certainly a color palette that everyone thinks of. So like as soon as you do red and green, and like I said, like jewel tones, like metallic things, that's a really nice way to, as soon as someone walks into a space, like I think they'll immediately know that it's the holidays. So, not to get too stuck in this, but I mean, it really is like, I know when I think of Christmas, I do think about my childhood and all those things that make it so Christmassy. So just go with that. Like I won't tell you what I like to do, but think about the things for your childhood, whether it's wreaths, whether it's taking now what I'm thinking, ornaments and sticking them in your tree, making sure, come winter, we know it gets darker. So make sure you have a lot of ideas for lights, overhead lights. You can't see it here, but I have these hurricanes. So think about like all the variations of lighting, because come holiday in the porch, you might have overhead lights, but there's something not as special about that. So think about all the variations of lights you can do. Think about the color palettes that you have. Think about the smells, like you mentioned, the gardenias and the jasmine. So like if it means having like pine smell, and then from there, think about like how do you make a space cozy? So I have thin throws that are great for like warm summer nights. But think about getting like those fuzzy throws. So it's all about like how do you actually design something where you do engage the senses. So like thicker, fuzzier throws, the scents, the colors. I think that's kind of a good way to start. And I think as I'm talking about this, I'm not really trying to prescribe what you need to do for your style. It's just how you think about it.
I like that too. And I think another thing that always creates a really great mood are the holiday lights. So holiday lights don't only need to go up and around the front of your house. You can do them through the back patio space so that you've got whatever, holiday lights you've got going on, you've got them in the back as well. I hope it's okay. I'm seeing myself freeze a little bit, and I don't know if I'm blurry for you guys as well. So I apologize if that's happening. Do we have another question? I'd love to see if we got another one. All right, this one is from M. Batten. We would love outdoor ideas for winter spaces in this crazy season. I think it's a lot about what Terry is saying about, number one, know your style. Know the aesthetic that you have in your indoor spaces. There's no reason that those elements cannot be brought outside. I think that that's a really great way of doing it. Having the baskets, again, so that it's a low maintenance way of bringing things inside and out. Another element that I love is I have the outer rug, which is a really beautiful way of anchoring the space and making it feel cozier, because it really does feel like an indoor space. It's cozy and warm on your feet. And I would say one other thing is if you are in the position to get some kind of like a fire element, that makes all the difference in the world. So whether that's a fire pit, you could do like one like I have, which is like the glass with like actual gas coming out, or you can get one of those with real natural firewood, or a standing one like they have at restaurants. But I think making sure that you warm up the space so that you really are going to use it. Why have a beautiful space if you're not going to use it? So make sure that you solve those problems for yourself so that it's usable.
So I love that. Those are great ideas. I think about, for those of you that go skiing or snowboarding, you have a great experience when you're skiing or snowboarding when you have the right equipment. And if you don't, you're going to be wet and soggy and cold, and you're not going to want to be out that much. So, I think it's a great question. It's like if you are trying to winterize your space or have a space where people can enjoy, think about what you need to make it comfortable. So as Orly said, think about heat. Think about things to protect you from the elements. Think about things like if you have people and you have a fire pit, how great would it be if you had insulated mugs where people could be, drinking their hot chocolate? Everyone has their own outdoor blanket to keep them warm. You could, depending on how special you want it to be, is they do have outdoors like heating pads. So, for those that go to watch football games in the winter, get something like a car seat heater, but for your outdoors so you can sit on it. So to me, it's all about just thinking about what is it that you're trying to solve. Heat is one. So what are the ways that you can think about heat? Lighting is one, because who wants to be sitting around in the dark, warming your insides? So to me, like, those are easy things. And I would imagine for that question is about how do you make sure you stay warm? And, also think about this. How special does it feel when you're in the middle of winter and it's snowing and you're hanging out in a hot tub? It feels pretty special because, it's like 32 degrees out, it's snowing on you, and you're in a nice warm bath. And having an outdoor space it's almost like that. If you can design your outdoor space to feel like your outdoor hot tub, you're going to want to go out more. And doing so by having the right tools and products to be able to allow you to do so.
Yeah, God, that's so true. Let's take a look. We got another question from Claudia Herrera. Hello from El Paso, Texas. Hi, Claudia. So glad to be here and loved both the basket idea and the pillow cover. We'll try both very soon. I love that. That wasn't a question, but just a fantastic compliment that made us feel great.
Yeah. So Claudia is going to say one other idea is that, I know my design philosophy is I call it scrimping and splurging. So, think about what matters and what you want to actually invest in, and then think about those other things that you can scrimp on. And, I do think pillows are one. I can tell you all of my pillows that I have on my space are indoor pillows. I did that because it's about a quarter of the cost of outdoor pillows. So one way to squeeze it even further is pillows come in standard sizes, 18 by 18, 20 by 20, 16 by 20. There's lumbar pillows. And why not do something where you get a solid pillow of one color? And once you do that, let's say it's an 18 by 18, as you think about having an assortment of pillows, you can just buy the covers themselves. And now you have a base pillow that could be a color, and, like kind of playing off with what Orly said, instead of having the fabric, you can actually just have a cover and then just kind of replace it as you go through the seasons.
I love that so much. I know we have another question. Right before we take it, there is something I want to show. For those of you that are new to outer and you don't actually know this, one of the reasons you can get away with using indoor pillows is because every night when you close up for the night, you can put your pillow right in front. I'm going to angle this down so you can see. This is really what made me obsessed with the outer sofa. You're going to lay down your pillow here. You're going to lay your decorative pillow in front. And in the back, attached to the back of the seat, is your cover. This is called the outer shell, and it actually Velcros to the bottom. So if you wanted to take it inside, you could, although our product reveal later is going to show you why you don't need to do that. But this is how I close mine up every night. And then you just roll it back. And so that's a really great way to be able to make sure that those indoor pillows stay in such great shape, because every night it's getting packed up beautifully. All right, let's take a look at this next question. I just saw it pop up there. I want to take another look at it. There we go. From Sam Fansteel. I hope I said that right. And if not, I apologize. From a designer's perspective, when working with a smaller deck space, is it better to fill the space with a larger sectional or smaller? That's a great question. And Terry, I know you have a smaller space that you use in your backyard, and you've got a thought process on this.
Yeah. My space is 12 and a half deep, but probably about 16 feet. In my opinion, it's better to not fill the space. Like, the last thing you want, remember this, like, why are you getting outside? You're getting outside because you want the room to be able to breathe and move around. And, when you go inside, into a space that is cluttered or has oversized furniture or too much furniture, it kind of clouds your mind. It makes it feel a little bit stuffy and overcrowded. So my suggestion is go smaller. And if the reason you want a larger sectional is to be able to accommodate more people, I would go smaller and then do something where you have something like poofs that you can move around, because I would imagine for 85% of the time, it's just a few people. And then, when you do decide to have guests over, you can have this additional seating. So the best thing to do for small spaces is to kind of make it right-sized. Another suggestion I have is make sure, like my sofa, I always keep it about 3 or 4 inches away from any wall or a fence. So I have a fence, and the typical inclination is to move everything against the wall so you maximize your square footage, and that actually is the wrong thing to do. It's much better to actually move it away so it feels like it's floating a little bit. So in summary, get something smaller. Think about like how you would use it 85% of the time, and then find additional options for seating that can have a multifunctional use. So whether it be a poof, whether it be accent, it could be a bench that becomes a coffee table. If your idea is that you want to have more space so that you can accommodate bigger parties, think about how often you do that and think about like what you need for most of the time.
I love that. And I think another thing to note is that if you don't know this about Outer, there are 2 pieces in the sofa. There's a corner piece and a center piece that has no sides to it. And with those 2 pieces, you can really customize and configure your sofa in any way that you want. So I have a conversation set, which is 2 individual pieces on either end, plus a 3-piece sofa, which is 2 ends and a middle. What I can do, though, is they're not so heavy that I can't rearrange them when I have guests. So if you get a sofa for yourself that works, just like Terry is saying, for 85% of the time, and then when you have guests and you want to separate them out a little bit, you can do that. That's one of the reasons. It's very modular, which is one of the reasons that the Outer sofa is so great, regardless of the size of the space that you have. All right, let's see if we have another question. This is so fun. I want all the questions. All right, this is from Sinead Mullins. How do the Outer's sofa fabrics hold up to wine spills? Can I take this one?
Of course.
Okay. I'm going to share my personal experience, and then Terry, I need you to give me all the logistics because you know why. I don't know why, I just know the how. So when I first got my Outer and I was trying to decide if I wanted to do it, and I've got video of this, I literally poured black coffee on a white Outer sofa. I don't understand how this is possible, but I am not lying. I swear, all I had to do was take a cup that had some soapy water in it, pour it over the coffee, which pushed it off, and then dab it. And I'm not kidding, within 60 seconds, there was no sign that coffee was there. Now, you need to explain how and why this happens, but I can attest to it. I have 2 monstrous little children that try to destroy everything in my house, and my sofa still looks perfect. So please tell me the
Yeah, Sinead, I don't know if you've seen it, but there are videos that we've done. So Orly has a video of her pouring coffee on it. I've done videos showing me putting ketchup, mustard, and barbecue sauce on a white cushion cover. And it was as easy as me taking my hose and spraying it off. Why? And I'll tell you, like, the big thing is, like, when you think about stains, there's oil-based and water-based. Wine is super easy to get off. It really is a matter of you spraying it off with a hose. The way we do this is we do have a coating on our fabrics. One, our fabric is eco-friendly. It is like when you think of most outdoor fabrics, people probably think Sunbrella, and Sunbrella is an amazing fabric. The reason we don't use Sunbrella is because of our dedication to trying to create sustainable products. And with Sunbrella and many of the other fabrics that it's actually made with solution dyed acrylic, which is not recyclable. So it actually made us take about a year longer to develop our product because we actually have designed our own fabric. We designed the shape of the thread to the weave of the thread and to the performance characteristics of the thread. So a good way to say it is like a lot of what we're doing is we're actually looking at other industries. We have designed it by looking at like the performance apparel industry. So we do have a coating that helps get it off. It's eco-friendly. It's Prop 65 free, so we have nothing that's on the Prop 65 list. But yes, it's super easy to get wine spills as well as everything off. And what we can do is if you send me an email, I'll forward you the links to our YouTube of showing you how you get stains off.
Yeah, it's highly satisfying. All right, guys, let's take a look at what's coming up next. I'm very excited. Before I do that, I just want to remind everybody that we are giving away a $2,300 value, the conversation set. That is 2 of the individual center chairs. You can keep them facing each other like a conversation set. You can put them together like a love seat. However you want to do it. It's absolutely amazing. And we're giving one away at the end of the live stream. So make sure that you stay tuned. Another reminder, guys, Outer is doing its biggest ever sale. I know the details. It's really good. I can't wait for you guys to hear about it. It's very exciting. You're going to absolutely love it. And then just a final reminder that our very last segment, we are going to talk about the all-weather cover, which is a brand new product that's been in the works for quite some time. And man, is it the perfect timing for it. So let's move into our next segment because we finally get to welcome today's special guest. We're going to welcome Dini Klein from Prep and Rally to this episode of Outer Spaces Live. Hi, beautiful mama.
Hey, Dini, how you doing?
No, you guys are incredible. I'm obsessed with all these tips and tricks, and I want to just redo my entire space based on your tips. So amazing. Like, I'm so inspired. I love it.
Oh, we're so excited you're here. I mean, you're the perfect person to be part of a low maintenance yet luxurious episode. I mean, you're really the perfect person. For anyone that doesn't know you, which is very offensive, oh gosh, I can't wait for this cocktail. I want you to like teleport one to me.
Yeah, any excuse, daytime drinking. I mean, that's awesome. How fun, right?
I love it so much. I'd love it if you would just share a little bit of you, who you are, what you do with the audience so that they can get to know you for a quick sec.
Yes, well, so fun to be here. I'm Dini Klein. I'm a food host and the founder of Prep and Rally, which is a family meal prep subscription service. You can head over to prepandrally.com, sign up for either monthly plan or annual plan, and every single Sunday we send you a fully customizable Sunday meal prep plan, and then 4 simple ways to take those Sunday staples and turn them into dinner Monday through Thursday, which just takes like minutes to assemble. So I'm all about the low maintenance, easy living. I don't fuss. So
I love it. I love it so much. And I have my Prep and Rally membership, and I will tell you, it's one of the most delicious and satisfying things. Sunday you prep, and then all week, just like, it's like playing. You just assemble all these yummy ingredients, and dinner's on the table in like 5 minutes. So I'm a huge fan. Dini, before we get started, I know you've got an amazing cocktail, an amazing recipe. I'd love if you could actually like step back and kind of show us your outer space. You have an outer sofa yourself, but I'm dying to see your setup.
We live out here. I mean, this is literally our favorite space in the house. We have the L-shaped sectional.
Look at that.
And just the best. It's just the coziest little nook in our whole house. We entertain out here. The kids are out here all day long. We roast s'mores here. It's just so special. We're such big fans of this. And we moved here, right when COVID hit. We were like, we need some backyard space. I feel like so many people moved into spaces that have yards. And this has literally been a lifesaver. Just like having a space that we can gather around, spend time as a family, and we still have the other part of the yard, which is where all the kiddos things are. I'm like looking at all the chaos over there where it's like a little ball pit and but this is real. This is real life. So we kind of, the kids have a section, we have a section. Everyone is just so happy. But we share. We let the whole family hang out here with us.
Dini, we talked about the idea. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Orly.
I was like, I love that you're like, I let the kids out here. You're like, I let them enjoy the space as well. I love that. You and me are 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, sometimes we let the crazies out here, right? But at night when we entertain out here, it's just been so great for COVID. We'll have like 1 couple at a time, and we just bring out a really great cocktail, a great appetizer, and it's just great time. Like, I'm just so grateful for living outdoors and also having California weather. So we can really do this all year, which is great.
Absolutely. Terry, can I see your space kind of from a further back angle as well?
I'll share in a second. I was thinking, before we go on, I'd love Dini, like one of the things that we had talked about earlier was really starting a segment calling Places, Spaces, and Styles. So, the idea is that we want to see, your space as you've shown. We want to hear a little bit more. Is it a big space? Is it a small space? I see that you have a 5-piece set. Hear about, how would you describe your style, and a little bit about you have an 8-month-old, so like just giving an idea of who you are so that we understand. Dini.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I'm a mom of 3. My oldest is turning 7 soon. My youngest is 9 months now, which is so crazy. It's flying. So I'm a busy mom. We get a lot of use out of our backyard. It's a moderately large, it's like, I would say it's double the size of, maybe it's triple the size of this little outer space here. We have like the junk room over there. So we really use it in all kinds of ways. And my style, I would say, I love like the kind of boho rustic. Again, I have like a little basket there. These are kind of pokey, scary for kids, but I love anything cactus, succulents. I'm very much like a desert vibe boho kind of girl. I want to see your spaces. Show me your space. Terry, let's go. Let's see it.
Yeah. Okay. So, we are doing some painting in our backyard. We have the painters pausing for a second.
This is real, right?
this is real. Let me see. Can you see my space? So here's
Oh,
my
I
space.
gorgeous.
It's not like you'd see. It's not very big. I'm just gonna pan so you see like it is not big at all. But like I do utilize my space. Like I think you could do something like this in like a 12 by 12 space. And for me, let me just come back here. I'll just leave it. My style, I would say, actually, I don't think I have a style. I think as a designer, my style has evolved. At first I was super modern, and I realized modern just was not comfortable. And then from there, I've evolved, and I think of my style like I think about what I like to eat during the day. So I don't think anyone can say my favorite food is. So for me, like I like Asian, I like Mexican, I like Italian. So my style really changes based on my mood, and you can see right now it is a little bit more like global ethnic. I've got lots of textures and colors. The palette is a little bit more muted. But come spring, you'll see how it changes. That's my space.
I love it. God, it looks so cozy.
I love that so much. Orly, can you see yours?
Yeah, Dini, let's see yours.
Oh yeah. Let me put my blanket back where it's supposed to be. Okay. So I've got a little basket on the fire pit right now as my sort of stand. So ignore that. But here is my space. Let me try to get out of the sun. So I have, like I said, I've got two of those chairs right there, the kind of conversation set, and we've got the same pillow, Dini, which I love so much. And then I've got the fire pit right there. And again, I like to keep a tray on it when we're not using the fire pit function because it really gives us even that much more space, whether it's to put food out or drinks or whatever it is, candles, like we talked about the plants. And then I've got this guy kind of moved off to the side right now because I'm going to be using him to prop something up in a minute. But I also have a little bench that I have on this side, and it just provides a little bit more seating and a nice big umbrella. And I feel like if I think about what my style is, I feel like I'm pretty eclectic. I like new. And I don't mean new, like I don't like buying new things. I like fresh. So that's why I like things like simple DIY that you can do for very little money and very little effort so that I'm always getting something that feels like it sparks my creativity. This is the space that I use the most in my entire house next to my kitchen. I am out here every night writing with the fire on, glass of wine, private space. It's like my sanctuary. And so I like the space to be inspiring. And so sometimes that means newness and freshness and swapping out the details.
I love that so much, and I love the idea of a tray. First of all, in your case, where you could cover up the fire pit and use it as like a serving space, more like a table when you want it. I use a serving tray, as you can see over here. We're going to be making our little cocktail and appetizer, but I love using a tray for entertaining because it's just simple and easy. You bring everything out in one shot. It's easy cleanup. Plus, it just looks really chic. This one's super cute with like little leather handles. I love a tray. I'm such a fan. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was going to point out. I was going to say, like, when you think about double duty, like a tray is a perfect double duty thing. Like it looks good. It makes it easy for you to carry lots of things out like a basket. So like as you think about how you decorate your space and the products you need, I would say a basket and a tray are probably two of the essentials that really work well.
Yeah, I love that. And I was going to say, you can't tease us with images of that delicious food and beautiful cocktail without getting into it. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
I'm so excited about this.
This is one of my favorite cocktails. So I've always loved a Bloody Mary, but sometimes it can be a little bit heavy and intense. Plus, it's just, everyone knows what a Bloody Mary is. So why not switch it up and do it in a different way? Citrus season is in winter time. So we're really getting into lemon, citrus, grapefruit, orange. Plus, we have an amazing mandarin orange tree in the front of our house. And the top ones, the top of the tree are like almost ripe. I'm so excited. So we're going to be making tail long. So what I've done is taken a typical Bloody Mary, which is the tomato juice base, and added some orange in there. We have some fresh lemon juice, chili spice, which is one of my favorites. So you add a little bit of warmth there, some spice, little sugar spice, and everything nice. And of course, we have our vodka. And of course, if you wanted to kind of switch that out with some tequila, by all means, use anything you like. There you go. There you have it. How beautiful is that? And then either you can garnish it. Isn't that so pretty? It's just such a warm photo. Yeah, it's a super cozy drink. It's like super great for winter. I'm so in love with this drink. So shall we make it, you guys?
Yeah, please do, because I'm curious about the proportions of the tomato juice and how much orange. So I want to see this one come together.
Yeah, so we have the full recipe for you. I think we're sending it out in an email. There's going to be a link to the actual recipe. But honestly, when it comes to cooking, I like to keep things really loosey-goosey and like go with it. I always encourage tasting as you go so you could really make it work for you. If you like it stronger, if you like it more orangey, more tomato-based, really is up to you. So I'm going to just move this over here so y'all can see what I'm doing. Doesn't look so pretty. So it starts with, I dust the little edge with some salt and lemon. And the way to do that is I take my half of lemon and I just kind of go around the rim. So you're sort of wetting it. You could also dip it in water if you want, but if we're putting lemon on it anyways, you have the lemon to squeeze in there, may as well use it. Just kind of reinforcing those flavors. So now while it's wet on the edges, I just dip it into a little plate that has some lemon zest and some salt on it. I have to knock everything over. And you just want to stick it on there.
Love that. I would have never thought of putting lemon zest. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, it makes it super fresh and delicious. You see how pretty that is? How it like sticks to the edges here? And then once it dries, then it will stay there for you. And it just looks really festive. You get some of that lemon as you're drinking, which is great. So to our glass, you're going to add your orange juice. You could do fresh squeezed or just straight up Tropicana, whatever you use. And then we have some tomato juice, classic. It always reminds me of like the airplane, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So is that like about 2 to 1, like 2 parts tomato juice to 1 part OJ?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. But honestly, like switch it up however you like it. I like it. It's basically like half actually. I'm pretty sure I did it half. And the actual recipe I'm sending out to you. And then we have a squeeze of lemon, which is so nice. I love lemon in everything. In all my food, I always finish everything with lemon. And then we have some chili spice, tahini, they call it, chili lime. I got this at Trader Joe's. You can really get it anywhere these days. And you're just going to give that a mix around. And at this point is when you would throw in your, you can put in your ice already now to get this nice and chilled. And then you got your vodka. Throw that on in there, or tequila if you prefer. Again, give it a little mix around, throw some ice in there, get it nice and chilled. And then you can just take some beautiful oranges. These are blood oranges, which are so pretty. See that?
Oh, beautiful. Those are my favorite.
Aren't they the best? They're so delicious. And you can just put it on the rim there. And then sometimes I'll take some rosemary if I have rosemary on hand. And I'll just like put it on the fire just to kind of torch it a little bit and get all those aromas out and stick it in. Other times, if I just have parsley sitting around in the fridge, I'll use parsley. I'm all about using what you got and no fuss. So I never want anybody, whenever you're following my meal plans, I never want anybody running to the grocery store to pick up 2 things if they don't have them. There's always another option of what you can use, something else that you could maybe use from your pantry that you already have. And it's all about just really thinking creatively and utilizing what you got to save a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of sanity. So that's really the prep and rally mindset and how I go about everything in my life. So that's the cocktail. It is so delicious.
I was going to say, I'd love to, it is such an unexpected combination that I would not have thought about. And, in the absence of us having taste vision, how would you describe a V8 with orange juice? I don't even know how that would taste.
So what's so funny is that most people wouldn't think of it together, but they're both very acidic fruits and vegetables. So actually, tomato, I think, is technically a fruit. Isn't it technically a fruit?
It is, yeah.
Technically a fruit, and both very acidic. So they really go nicely together. Then you have the lemon, so they really pair well together. I remember a long time ago, I made this tomato orange soup, and I remember falling in love with it. And I was like, why can't I take those same flavors and put it in a cocktail? And it's really a match made in heaven. So you have that kind of smoky, spicy, savory, and those are my favorite kind of cocktails. I never like a drink that's too sweet. Usually the best cocktails are like a jalapeno, cucumber, minty. So those flavors are like spot on for me. So cheers, y'all.
I love this so much because I feel like one of the things that I think of with you the most, I think of it with Prep and Rally, and I think of just with you as a person, is there's a lot of like freedom. It's a lot of like, there are no rules. There is no right and wrong. These are all interchangeable elements. So I feel like it's such a liberating thought if we could all click into that headspace when we're cooking, if we're being creative, when we're doing something creative, when we're looking at our outdoor spaces. Really, it's that idea of like everything is interchangeable and you could swap and, be free. I feel like that's so your motto. And so I feel like this cocktail is like a perfect representation of that.
100%. I'm starting to write my first cookbook now, and that is what I want to convey. Yeah, I know, it's upsetting. It's all really new. We're pumped to get started on it, but that is really my message to the world is like, I don't want you to ever look at a recipe and see one ingredient that you don't have and be like, no, that's not going to work for me. I want you to be like, no, Dini showed me that I can do it by swapping this out with that and I can make it work. Or my kid doesn't happen to like that, or I have an allergy to this. Let me throw that in instead. So that's like the prep and rally mindset. Be really resourceful, creative. I started in fashion, so I have a creative background, and we spoke about it the other day, how it's like they all connect, fashion and design and the cooking. It's all the same side of the brain, putting things together, colors, textures. It's just the best. It's my favorite. It's just the greatest thing to be able to create something from nothing and be super flexible about it.
And that follows the whole low maintenance living.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Which perfectly leads us into this appetizer, which could not be more simple and delicious. I can't wait to learn how to make this.
Yeah, so these are our olive pizzettas. I'll hold it up for you guys so you can see it. And speaking of using what you got, I didn't have olive tapenade in my my fridge, but I did have some canned and jarred olives in my pantry. So I was like, okay, let me just stick it in a jar. I did it in my stories today on my Instagram, where I basically just blitzed it with an immersion blender, and that's what olive tapenade is. It's just blended up olives. So it saved me a trip to the grocery store. I did not have to go to the grocery store to get my olive tapenade. I made it myself. So all this is little pizza rounds, which I buy already cut into little circles, and I keep it stored in my freezer for last-minute appetizers, last-minute fun dinners for kids. It's such a great staple to throw anything onto and call a meal. It's just the greatest. So I basically just took a little pizza round, which looks something like this. I thawed it. All right, and then I just stick it on a baking sheet with some parchment paper. Here's our olive tapenade that I made myself. And all you're gonna do is you take your little olive tapenade, you put it on your little pizza round there, and then it's just cheese, you guys. Does it get any easier? Like, I don't fuss. And you bake it until it's golden and crispy and delicious, and it looks like this. They come out cheesy and bubbly and golden brown and delicious. And again, you could put anything on these. So if you don't like olives, use artichokes. You can even blend artichokes with the olives. Sun-dried tomatoes. Use anything you like as like your glue. And then you just put that cheese on top and you bake it, and you have the greatest appetizer. You look like little Susie homemaker coming out to your backyard like, hey, you guys, look what I just popped it out of the oven. So definitely give it a shot. It's super simple.
That looks so delicious, and I am so hungry.
You just mentioned, like, if you didn't have olives, what are some other things that you would put on the pizza or the pizzetta?
Artichokes are amazing. Sun-dried tomato, and a lot of these things are things that you could keep stocked in your pantry at all times. I'm all about, doing a grocery shop that you could really store away and save for another time to throw together really last-minute amazing meals. So, like, I loved keeping lentils in my pantry because you can make lentil burgers one night, and you could keep black beans, things that are shelf stable. And especially in a time like COVID, it's so great to have things that are just ready to go for you. Tofu lasts a really long time in your fridge, so I love keeping boxes of tofu in the fridge. So I'm all about just, doing a nice big shopping and keeping things stashed away so that you could really come up with last minute meals, appetizers, whatever it may be.
And you know what I love so much about the idea of the little mini pizzas is I feel like anytime something is shrunk down, it instantly feels a little fancier. And it also instantly feels great for entertaining because it's sort of individual serving size. Whereas anything you would put on a pizza, if you just made these little mini versions, if you made like a little barbecue chicken one, a little like pesto and goat cheese or something. Like any of them in little mini versions just look like you're at a fancy restaurant or something.
100%. Plus, you save on dishes because you don't need plates, you don't need forks and knives. You literally just pass this around. Everyone just grabs one. They grab a cute little cocktail napkin, and these are actually disposable. I'm so in love with these. Can you tell? It comes like on a roll. You would love these, Orly. It comes on a roll, and you tear off individual little cocktail napkins, and they're kind of like a linen material, but they're supposed to be one-time use. They're so cute, and I love them for entertaining. You bring them out here, everyone grabs the little pizzetta, you grab your little napkin, and you're good to go.
This is so good. So delicious. Well, I feel like we probably have a ton of questions for Dini, and I'm dying to hear the answers. Let's see what our first question is. All right, first up from Sarah L. Any tips on how to host others and serve food outdoors in a way that's socially distanced and safe, but still fun?
Yeah, so I think what we were saying is like make things individual. Like we're doing a lot of work with brands and coming up with dishes that are single serving, especially for like Thanksgiving. Let's say if you're having people over, making little individual bread puddings, things like that, where you could really make it easy on you, but also make it socially distant and safe. Everyone gets their own. Contaminating anyone else. I think that's a great way to do it, and obviously having a nice space where you can kind of spread out. If you have individual little poofs, as you were mentioning, Terry, where people could kind of not sit right next to each other, but kind of spread out in the space. Right? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I love that. And that's also, I didn't think about it until earlier, but, Terry, when we were talking about the benefits of the outer sofa being so modular and being so easy to move around, you actually could do that very easily. You could host a large group, and instead of keeping your sofa, you could actually, Dini, take each of those pieces with very little effort and spread them around the entire backyard, and everyone could have their own little bubble. If you want to be having a larger group and you want that distance. So that's another really awesome option with the sofa.
Yeah.
No, I think, that idea is exactly right. Like pods, like this year, rather than, us like gathering at a big table, it's going to be dispersing among many tables. So the idea of a pod is a good way to think about, if you're having a gathering of more than you've done in the last 6 months, that's probably the safest thing to do.
Yeah. That's great. Well, we have another question. All right, this next one is from Ben Davidson. Oh, I love your photo, Ben. I would love to see a cookbook tailored to outdoor living. Ooh. All
right, let's do it, you guys. Let's do that. It could be an entire book all about like living casually and simply outdoor entertaining, simple, easy lifestyle hacks entertaining. What a great idea. Let's do it. I'm down.
Ben, I was going to tell you, as we're working on new products, we have been thinking a lot about that. And, when you think about the aha moments, it's that when you're doing outdoor cooking, it's usually, I would say the guy for now, that's standing in front of the grill with his buddies. And that really isn't a communal thing. So we're actually talking about how you do social cooking. So I won't talk more about that, but we are thinking about what do you do to actually absorb this entire thing of cooking and community all together.
Yeah, and that's what Pepper Mally's about as well. It's all about a DIY, assemble your own taco bowl. That's how you get kids to eat really healthy.
Exactly.
That's what kids are great eaters. It's really getting them involved in the process of cooking, serving, making it fun. So that's what I'm all about. Yeah. I love that. Great idea.
So great. Dini, thank you so much for being a part of this episode of Outer Spaces Live. The cocktail looked delicious. The food looks delicious. I'm going to invite myself over for a socially distanced outdoor hang.
I got plenty of room for you guys. Terry, come on over too. I love you guys. It was so fun. Thanks for having me, and definitely try this cocktail.
Thanks so much, Dini.
The recipe.
Great. Thanks for coming on today. See ya.
That was so great. We are moving on to our next and final segment here. But before we do that, I just want to do a couple of quick reminders. Number one, we are still giving away the 2-piece conversation set. You know how much I love it. So make sure that you stay tuned to find out who the lucky winner is with that. Remember, guys, that if you are thinking about getting the outer sofa, if you're thinking about your rug, you're thinking about anything, the new product reveal, Black Friday is coming up, and Outer is doing its biggest ever sale. So make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. That information and more of those details will come in the follow-up email after this. So don't worry about it. You don't need to commit too much of that to memory. Now, I'm really excited because we're moving on to the all-weather cover reveal. Now, I am going to do a bit of an unboxing because I just received mine. And you guys, this bad boy launched today. Look at this. I love it so much. It comes in this bag when you get it, in a box, of course, and then you open it up. I've taken it out of it comes in a plastic, like, protective bag with a zipper on it. I've taken it out of that for now. And this is it right here. Now, this is going to be the ultimate solution for if you live in a place that has a lot of weather. Because one of the things is with the outer shell is if you're having a lot of weather, Terry has always recommended bringing those cushions maybe inside if you have a lot of weather. This has been in the works forever. And while I get my sofa set up, ready to demo it, Terry, I want you to kind of take it away and give the details about how you actually developed this product over like the last year or even longer.
So yeah, I'll start. First is, what Orly showed is actually just a surprise that we have for our customers. And I'll just show it here. It's a dry bag that we actually include when you buy your all-weather cover. And the idea is that you can use it as storage, but more importantly, you can use it to carry to the beach, to do your yoga, to the park. But it's just an additional thing to help with being able to carry stuff. So we wanted to make it double duty, so it could be storage, but also something that you would use otherwise. For our all-weather cover, you'd be surprised, but we've been developing it for a year. In fact, I have my all-weather cover I've had for actually the whole year, where I've been testing to make sure that it's worked. And we've designed our all-weather cover the same way that we think about our outer sofa. And there's a book that I read when I was younger, and it was called All Things Great and Small and All Things Bright and Beautiful by James Herriot. And he's a British veterinarian. And the idea is that, we're putting just as much detail into something as insignificant as a rain cover as we did in the outer sofa. So let me tell you some of the ahas that we had when we designed it. So first thing, and I think many of you will be able to relate, but rain covers are a pain in the butt to put on. Most of you probably have grills, and it's hard to put on. Now think about something a lot bigger. It's just hard. Second, these rain covers are baggy, so they don't look really good. And so two things happen if they're baggy. If it rains, water pools on it and it just gets stuck on it, and it's gross when you take it off. And two, if it's baggy, that means if you have high winds, it could potentially blow away. So before we started designing it, those are the things that we thought about in the design. So what you're seeing Orly do is, what you see is we've designed it so that it actually looks good on the sofa. So that when the cover is on, you could see that it actually is tailor fit. So that's one thing. The second thing is that zipper that you see. We did that so it's super easy to put on. We know that it's really hard to actually put on covers, and this is an easy way where the blue waterproof zipper helps you index which corner it needs to go on. So how many of you have put on a fitted sheet the right way? I would say maybe 50% of the time, and many times you get it on the wrong way, and you have to turn it 90 degrees. So the way we designed it is exactly which corner the blue zipper goes on, so you get it on right the first time, every time. You can see
myself. First of all, you saw how fast it comes together. It really happens so fast, and I do think that's mainly because I feel like when you have something big like this, 90% of the time is you like trying to figure it out. The fact that you have this calling card of the zipper, you know where to start. Not only is it easier because you have the tension, right? So it's open, so it fits, and you pull that tension, but it just gives you a starting place, which I love so much.
Exactly. So you get it right every time. As soon as you find that blue zipper, you know that it goes in the front left corner, so you get it right. And then, the other thing. So, if you see the design, you can see that the center is angled. It actually follows the shape of when you have your outer shell deployed. And what that does is it sheds the rain. So when I said, water will pool up on those baggy rain covers, ours does not. Water will come off. And then lastly, which you can't see, is we actually have clips on each of the corners of the rain cover. And so what that does is it actually mechanically connects our rain cover to the sofa. So what that means is, if you have this thing on, the only way it's going to come off is if your entire sofa blows away. So a 3-seat sofa is, what is it? It's about 145 pounds. So if you have winds that are that high, then there's not a whole lot we can do. But anything less than that, and it's able to withstand winds of 70 miles an hour.
I would like to call out my pot right here, because this was my computer stand when I was demoing the DIY pillow. And when one of you was on camera, I ran and hit it, but there it is for all to see. You're welcome, world. I do want to show you guys something funny real quick. Well, not funny, but I mean, useful. I want to show you 2 elements that are so great about it. Now, I've never done this before, so this could go one of 2 ways, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go awesome. I'm going to take my hose and I'm going to spray it. The point of this is for us to see how the fact that it's tight and it's angled, how the water doesn't pool, the fact that it will slide down. The other thing I want to acknowledge, because I'm sure a lot of you are like, you have an outdoor rug, like you're going to destroy the rug. No, you are not, because the way that Gary, in all of his infinite wisdom, designed the outer rug is that you can, just like with the sofa, with a hose, you can hose it off and clean it. So once the water goes down, I will show you how you can then kind of hose it off. So let's see how this works. By the way, I got this thing because I am not messing around. That's a pressure washer.
Wow, nice.
Anything you would like to say before I do it? Okay, all right.
Go for it. Go for it.
And let's just imagine. And you can see it pouring.
So this fabric, we actually designed it very similar to the way we designed our cushion fabric. So it also has a waterproof coating on it. But the one thing in addition to it is that it has something like a Gore-Tex layer that makes sure that it's completely waterproof. It's also rated to the highest rating for UV light fast, so it doesn't fade. So waterproof and fade resistant.
And then what you can do, let's see if I can do it on this angle here. When I like to clean my rug, what I do is I turn this guy on full effect, and I literally just go like this. And you push the dirt off of it.
Nice.
I mean, first of all, it's the most therapeutic thing you've ever done. But I don't know. You
need to tell me where you got that, Orly.
Oh my gosh.
I need one of those.
Hold on. Turn this off. I'm sure it's really loud. It is the best. First of all, this is just a little extension you can find on Amazon. It's a water pressure extension for a regular hose. There's a couple different little things on it. This is great for, as we're talking about low maintenance living outside, is having things like this that can do a deep clean without needing to like hire a crew and do a whole thing. You can do this with something like this. Turn your hose at full blast, turn this on. And I love it for the rug because what it really does is it like vacuums it almost. It like pushes the dirt off of it in these strong lines. And I do it all over the backyard. So something like this, which is honestly like $30, is a great solution for sort of, low maintenance outdoor living.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, you do. You do. Well, is there any other notes before we move on and announce the winner? Any notes that you want to share about the outdoor cover, or if we do have any questions, we can pop those in. But if there's anything else that you wanted to share, I'd love to know.
No, so it just launched today. As I mentioned, like this was a development that we started over a year ago, just to make sure that we got all the details right. It is something that I believe is the first of its kind. I don't think I've seen a furniture rain cover that does this. So yeah, I'm super excited about this, just as excited as I am about when we launched our outer sofa.
Yeah, and you can see how easy it is to take off. I mean, once all you have to do, even when it's soaking wet like that, all I did is just sort of fold it and roll it into itself. And now I just pop these guys off. I mean, it's one of the most low maintenance pieces of furniture you're ever going to own. That's really why outer is so incredible. So that's why this felt like such a perfect focus for today's live stream, because it really is like the calling card of Outer is I feel like living a luxurious, comfortable, cozy life in the most low maintenance, simple, livable way. Let's see if we have any questions about the outer shell or about anything in general. We can go back into an old segment. I'm like winded. What does that say about me? All right, Michelle Malden. My yard gets lots of hotness with sun. Will this experience much fading from the sun? Terry.
I'll take that. Yeah. Hey, Michelle. No, it won't. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how bad something fades, and then I'll show you what mine looks like. Here's my Weber grill cover. It used to be that color.
Oh my gosh!
And it's like for fabrics, there is a test you do that does test UV light fast, which is basically fading in the sun. All of our fabrics that we develop are tested to 2,000 hours. So they're rated to the highest that they do. I'm going to do something right now where I'm going to show you, I haven't done this yet, so it's first time on camera, what the cover looks like. It's dirty because I've had it for over a year. It's been through winter and rain and a lot of salt because I live by the ocean. And I have a brand new one, and I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on a second.
Oh, I love when things happen while you didn't. Very exciting. You guys don't know we didn't plan this, but we do.
We didn't plan this at all. Here is the one that I've had for a year, and when I compare it, it basically looks the same. So it is designed like our fabrics, which is it's basically good for 5 years. That's just the way we think about it. We are designing for the outdoors, so it is the highest that you can get when you think. Now I'm like wrapped up in all of the covers. It does resist very well to fading in the sun. The way I have mine set up is a lot like yours, Michelle. I have no coverage. I'm just looking at the sky. And, I think what's a little bit worse for me is that I have like ocean and salt and sand. So I have a pretty extreme environment, and it did perfectly out here.
I love that so much. Do we have any other questions? Let's take a look. All right, Sarah L. I saw that the cushions have waterproof liners underneath the cloth covers. How waterproof are these liners? Does that mean that the foam ... I wonder if we can get that second part of the question there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to say waterproof.
Yeah. When we were designing the sofa, there was a number of questions that were like, well, why don't people do it this way? Outdoor foams, for those of you that have had outdoor furniture, has a certain feel to it. And it's actually not very comfortable. When you sit on it, you sit on top of it. And it's designed so that water passes right through. Our question was, why do you want foam to get wet in the first place? Because if it gets wet, that's a back cushion. That's a little bit different. That's got polypropylene filter. Yeah, so the seat cushion is a little bit different. Ours are, it's not 100% waterproof, because if it was, that means when you sit on it, it feels like you're sitting on a balloon, which we learned. In our first prototypes, we did it where it's fully sealed, and when you sat on it, it felt like you would sit, and then it would just kind of like flatten out. So what we've done is we put a little vent, let's call it, which is like mesh in the very bottom of the cushion so that air escapes easily. And we had to do that so that you didn't have the balloon effect of sitting on it. So, the way we've designed it was that if it's raining and it gets wet on the top or on the sides, it is protected from the rain.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I know you said that the actual cushion itself, and I was kind of trying to show that, but I don't know if you could tell, is that you did it like a mattress. Instead of doing it like a piece of furniture, that actual cushion was, you thought about it like a mattress, and it's got that like pillow top feel. So it's dense, but it has that mushy kind of, it's super, super smushy and comfy.
Yeah, we designed it very much like a mattress.
Yeah, exactly. You can feel it when you smush on it. All right, let's take a look at our next question. Okay, Matt Garbett. When should I be using the cover instead of the outer shell? Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. So it depends on what your personality type is like. For me, I actually do use my all-weather cover all the time, only because it is salty, and like when I touch anything after a day or two, I feel it. So I use it anytime. Really, it's designed for when you do have worse weather. Like the design of the all-weather cover was to protect the entire sofa, your entire investment. So it really is up to you. I think in the winter it's really good where you might be colder, you might not be coming outside as much, so that it's just worry free. It's there. You don't have to think about anything getting dirty.
Yeah, and just for those, I know I showed it earlier, but one of the benefits of the outer shell, the fact that it's that built-in cover that folds down, right? You can protect it every night just from general dust and moisture in the air and stuff like that. For me, prior to having the all-weather cover, when I knew we were going to get some rain, I live in LA, so we're not getting like weather, but we do get downpours of rain that exist over the course of a week and everything gets soft. I would just pick them up by the handle, because you saw that it has a handle, and I just throw them in the guest house and I leave them in there right behind me. And then when the weather's normal again, I bring them out. So 90% of the time, I am just opening and closing them with the outer shell. But when I know we're going to get weather, I now don't need to bring them inside. Now I just pop the all-weather cover. And just like you saw, it looks sleek. Because I do think there's really something to consider is that when you're inside your house and you're looking at your outdoor space, you don't want your covers to be an eyesore that when your stuff's not all open, it's like janky looking. You still want things to look nice, right? So the fact that the cover is good and streamlined and mimics the shape of the sofa, you look outside and you're like, oh, that's nice. So I do think that's another design element that personally I appreciate, because we can see this outdoor space from our entire house.
Yeah. Another piece I was going to say is, for me, I don't have a very big home, nor do I have a lot of space. I don't have space to put 3 big cushions in my house. And if I do, it's taking up other valuable space. So the all-weather cover really is the only solution I have to really protect the cushions during the winter and during the rains.
Yeah, that's great. I know we're going to do our conversation set giveaway in just a few minutes. I just want to know if we have any other questions that we want to answer before we do that. Let's take a look. All right, Heidi Smith. Hi, Heidi. Will washing the covers too much damage the coating and degrade it over time so that it's less resistant to stains and water? That's a great question.
Yeah, so we do have a coating on it, and like anything where there is like a water repellent to it, it doesn't matter what it is. It does degrade over time. Our coating lasts, it's good for 25 washes. When you think about how often you wash your cushions now, it's going to be far less than that. And then, another way, like if you do decide to wash it that often, there is a way you can refresh the waterproof coating on it. There's things like a Nick wax that you can use to help with water repellency. But, I've had my cushions for over a year and I've just spot cleaned them. The idea of the outer shell is that it is the sacrificial piece of fabric so that the rest of it doesn't get dirty. So it actually minimizes how much you actually need to throw it in the wash.
Yeah, I've had mine for a year and change, and I've never washed them because I keep them covered every night. And then, if the kids get something on, I just spot. Okay, let's see. Do we have another question? All right. Clara Duval, how about mildew? It's so humid here.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And it's something that we learned over time, honestly. So when we were developing this thing, we did have some problems, like in full transparency. And then we realized that there were other things that you can do. So, in all of our products right now, we do have an antifungal, anti-mold coating on it. So when you think about like your clothing that has like that silver, it's got like silver built into it. We do have like a fungus, like an antifungal thing. So it does actually resist mildew. So, and if you do get mildew, just because you can imagine, even if it has it, it's fabric. And if it just stays damp forever, then inevitably it's going to probably develop some mold. Our fabrics are cleanable with bleach. So if you do happen to get mildew, you just you can use like a bleach mixture of 1 to 3 parts, so it doesn't actually affect or discolor the fabrics.
Oh, wow. I would have never thought that. That's so cool. You guys just really think of everything. It's actually kind of annoying. I keep waiting for something to stump you. And it's like, nah, we thought of that too. Terry.
You know, it's interesting. It's hard. You know, like all the things that we've done, you know, we design to try to do the best that we can, and we uncover new things, and then we will go and figure that thing out that we didn't think about. So I'm sure there are more things that people will think of that we'll have to continue to solve.
Yeah. Yeah, but everything, you know, I mean, you guys, if you were on last month's live stream, then you saw, well, actually maybe the one before that when we revealed the rug, you know, one of the things, again, just a quick description, the rug, there's 3 different colors, and the 3 rugs are all woven with multiple colors, so that at far away, they look like one color, but at close up, there's darker and mid-tones, so that as it gets dirty or dust or spots, it blends in with the overall design. It's things like that that you just, and it's made with, like, mine is made with 1,088 recycled plastic bottles, which is just, again, like there's always an element of being environmentally conscious, an element of thinking how people live so that it's low maintenance, smart material, innovation. Like you just always think of interesting things. It's really incredible. All right, enough about you. Do we have another question? Let's see. Sarah Madner, our covers available now.
They are available right now. So depending on what you bought, what's available right now are our 3-seat sofa, our love seat, and our armless cover. And we are still, we're about to go into production and all the other configurations. They are selling out actually quite quickly. We did a pre-launch with our hosts. So make sure if you're interested in buying it, buy it soon.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, do we have another question? Mary Bogdanov, you mentioned the wicker won't fade or stain, but plastic wicker typically cracks over time in the heat of summer in Phoenix. How is the outer wicker different?
Yeah, that's a really good question. With wicker, there are actually 2 grades, a low grade and a high grade, and there's higher grades. The low grade, what you're talking about, the one that cracks, is actually like a PVC type wicker, and those are where you see like kind of promotional prices where you actually can't believe you can get it at that price. But it does come at a cost. It comes at a cost of after a year or 2, it will crack, it will dry up, and it'll fall apart. And you know, when you think about wicker, there's the material and there's the shape. And you know, as we went and did the analysis, flat is actually not as good. Wicker can come in everything from a flat to a half round to an oval to a full round. A full round is the most durable shape. So we have a full round. And then the other thing, as I mentioned, is there are really 2 types of plastics. There is PVC and there is high density polyethylene. Ours is made with high density polyethylene. It's a round shape. It's actually matte. So the whole idea is it's supposed to look more like a true wicker. So ours is the premium kind of wicker that you can get.
And this, just for reference, this I assume is flat, right? This thing that I have here is flat?
That is flat weave, yeah.
Okay.
Mary, I was going to tell you one other thing. I did a test, and I took a swatch of our fabric, and I stuck it in an oven at 225 degrees for 3 hours, just to make sure it didn't melt. You got to do the test. So, Mary, as long as the temperature in Phoenix doesn't get to 225 degrees, you're okay.
Oh, I love that. All right, let's see if we have another question. These are good. You guys are thinking of everything. Ben Davidson, there's my man again. With this new cover, can you leave the cushions out during the winter months? I've heard from a couple other retailers that cushions should be taken inside during the colder months.
Ben, it is actually really smart to bring them inside. It is fabric. It's fabric. It's foam. It's stuff that, Like if you think about anything else that is a fabric or foam, you probably wouldn't leave it outside. I would say you should bring it inside with the caveat that if you have an all-weather cover, it should be fine. There's other things that I've heard, but this is not our product. But I had some friends that said they left their furniture outside, even though it had a cover on it, and he was up in Lake Tahoe, and in the spring everything fell apart. And the reason it fell apart was because 10 feet of snow was sitting on it, and depending on the density and wetness of the snow, that's a lot of weight. So, depending on where you live, the all-weather cover should be fine. But if you live in an area where you do have a lot of snow accumulation, it is a better idea to bring it inside.
Blake thinks this is very serious business. Okay, let's see our next question. All right, Blakey, this is from Sinead Mullins. How regularly are potential customers using the showroom feature now during COVID? And how about pre-COVID? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, right now we've actually halted the neighborhood showroom visits for good reasons. We want to protect our customers. We do have customers that do actually talk to potential customers where they're able to share like their experiences with depending on where they live, if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's wet, if it's snowy. So like right now, if you are interested in visiting, usually it'll be a video call. And if you want, we can connect you with customers that live in an area like you. Oh, the other piece I was going to say is we are in about 150 cities. And our goal for 2021 is to get to 1,000 showrooms across the country. So it makes it really easy. One, for two reasons. One, we can continue to product test to see, like we are in 49 states right now. So we're able to basically product test in every type of condition you could think of. And then from there, any customer, depending on their condition, can eventually go talk to these people to see how our product fares in those conditions.
I love that.
Great. Next
so cool.
question.
All right, let's see what our next question is. All right, this is from Patricia Retzlaff. Have you guys had anyone reporting that squirrels ever nibble on the wicker part? The chairs we have now have a woven material that's kind of plastic and rubbery, and a squirrel has been nibbling on it. I have never had that issue, and I'll tell you that we have like a band of crazy squirrels that jump around like a trampoline, all these trees in the backyard, and I hear them running across our roof. I mean, we've got probably 20 or 30 squirrels that are like, think that my backyard is their home. And I've never seen anything. And like, I would think that if there was an issue, I would experience it because of the amount of squirrels that we have in all these trees. So I have personally never seen anything like that in my space. But Terry, what about you?
I haven't either. I haven't heard of any of our customers complaining about squirrels. I think it'd be interesting to do a little research to figure out what it is about plastic rubbery materials that squirrels are interested in. Because I've heard that, like rats, if you leave your car out for long enough, they will get under your hood and they will basically gnaw away the wires, because there's something about the wires and the steel that they like that I actually don't know. So it'd be, no, we haven't heard of any issues of that, but it would be good to know like what it is about the material that you have that makes it appealing for them to nibble on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Do we have another question?
We do.
All righty. Gianna Kinkenon Prescott. What a cool name. I hope I said that right. She's responding to Kathy, saying, I couldn't agree more. We love our outer family. Heartwarming and so refreshing to see how much they care about the people and the planet. What a lovely comment.
Kathy, shout out to you. Love to you. Kathy is someone that I've texted a bunch. I've even sent pictures of my daughter. She is a dear host in Mount Juliet. So thank you, Kathy. We love you.
That's so amazing. And I want to piggyback on that and just say, there's a lot of people right now behind the scenes that you guys aren't seeing. that are really amazing. Outer really is an incredible company. Everybody that's involved in the company is so kind, so caring, so focused on the right things. So really, like, I just think that aside from product, really when you choose to get your own outer sofa or your own outer products, it's like it's supporting such an incredible company with such a great culture and such great people. So I feel so lucky to be a part of the family now. I mean, I enjoy this so much. I enjoy our Outer Space Live. You know, we're doing brand new ones every month. So I feel really lucky to be a part of this company. I'm pretending I'm a part of it. And I think it's such a great place. So Terry, should we do the giveaway? Is it time?
I think we should. It is time now.
Okay, I'm going to let you announce the name. I'm sure it's going to pop up, and I want you to say the name.
Okay, here we go. The winner of our conversation set is...
I'm so nervous.
John Magner. Congratulations. You have won the conversation set.
John, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. It's the best.
We'll be following up with you. Yeah, I think you're going to love it. We'll be following up with you after this live stream to get all the details so we can get it to you as soon as possible.
Yes. And by the way, the unboxing of your outer is one of the most fun things ever. There's this like really cool custom handy dandy tool in there that you're going to love and save. It's a very cool experience. So I'm really excited for you, John. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. Everybody else, remember, Black Friday is coming up. The email that you're going to receive after this live stream will give you all the details. It is an absolutely incredible, major, huge sale. So make sure that you stay tuned for all that info. We can't thank you enough for joining these live streams, these Outer Spaces Live. Putting these together is such a blast for us, and it really means a lot to us. So the fact that you're here, we appreciate it so much. Terry, we are putting together our next one in December. We have amazing guests we're already having planned to come on. It's going to be all about wellness. It's going to be such an incredible one. I'm so excited about, this next one we have coming up as well.
This thing is constantly evolving, and we're trying to figure out how to just do it so it's actually more engaging and more valuable to you. So if you have any feedback for us of what we should be talking about or any ideas, let us know. We want to make sure that this is engaging and fun for you as much as it is for us.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, guys. Remember, the all-weather cover went live today, and there's going to sell out fast. So if you are thinking of getting one, get on it. Do it now. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time.
Thanks. See you next month.